When I was a kid, I was super into the space race, NASA, going to the moon, the Apollo missions. I really wanted to be an astronaut. In 3rd grade, I started wanting to go to space camp. I've been saving my money for it, just like, you know, my allowance. And space camp was expensive. For a week-long trip to space camp was like, back then it was $800, I think, which was, for a kid saving his allowance, like a lifetime. By about the age of 30, I would have been able to go. 4th grade, spring break, 4th grade, my parents surprised me with a trip to space camp, which was awesome. I got this pin, which I wear on this flannel. I don't know if you've ever caught it. That's my space camp pin. And it reminds me that dreams really do come true. At least, you know, 3rd grade dreams can come true. And bigger ones too. But anyway, stop touching that. The reason I bring up space camp and space and all that today is because I kind of feel like there's a little piece of what those Apollo astronauts felt about to get into the shuttle, heading to the moon. Not sure if they were gonna make it. That's how I'm feeling this morning. Because I'm gonna get into that big machine back there, the big tractor, and I'm gonna mow the hillside. And I'm not sure if I'm gonna make it. One of the biggest tragedies of my early childhood, I wrote Neil Armstrong a letter. And he actually wrote me back. I had a letter from Neil Armstrong. And when we moved, I lost that letter. And it's probably somewhere in a box. When we moved, I'm talking when my family moved from my childhood home, we lost the Neil Armstrong letter. So maybe someday I'll find it in a box at my parents' house. I hope so. That tractor. Still pretty new on the tractor. Still not super confident. As you saw the other day, working with these attachments and things, I'm learning my way. Today we're gonna mow the hillside. My father-in-law has done it. I know the tractor can handle it. It's been a very wet year, not as bad as last year, but it's been wet, so the hill's a little bit slick, and I am super nervous on the hillside. I don't love doing this, but it's gotta be done. So today we're gonna do it. We're gonna tackle our fears. We're gonna, you know, make like the Apollo astronauts, get in this giant machine and hope we make it back. Let's fire it up. Got to go through your pre-flight checklist. So I'm going to check all the oil and make sure that all my liquids, fluids are topped off and we're ready to go. Okay, all the fluids look good. I have to remove the arm, the boom. I have to put the finish mower on and then we're off and running. Let's see how long this takes me. Put the clock on the wall. Let's see.
Thank goodness for YouTube and Ask Tractor Mike, man. That guy has got me out of some jams. Check out his channel. You want me to get him on the show? Do an interview or something? Basic Tractor 101? I want to get him on the show. Let me know in the comments below if you'd like that as a podcast. Ask Tractor Mike interview, you know, tractor basics. Because man, I could use a 101. Let's do this.
Okay, let's get something straight here. I enjoy working with livestock way more than I do on machines. Well, I shouldn't say on, then I enjoy watching livestock out on grass, eating the grass, way more than I do mowing it. To be perfectly honest, for years of my life, I hated mowing. It was my chore growing up at home, and I always viewed it as that, a chore. And so for a long time when we started homesteading, I looked to the animals as a solution to stop mowing. I'll get sheep and they'll mow the grass and then turn them into steaks, and I don't have to have a lawnmower. The sheep don't do the weed whacking. Well, I can get goats and they'll do the weed whacking, and I won't need a weed whacker, and it'll work perfectly. I've learned over the last decade of homesteading, sheep and goats do really good on pasture. They're really bad at landscaping. They don't mow your lawn where your kids play like you want it to be mowed so that there's not ticks. They don't cut all the weeds. If you leave it up to them, you're probably going to wind up with weeds overrunning the place. And if you want good quality pastures, you got to manage that. So the takeaway I've learned is you need, on a homestead, you got to have both really. If you want to have livestock, I like livestock. I would rather just have all livestock in this field and eating all the weeds. But when winter comes, I can park that tractor in the garage. I don't have to put any more fuel in it. I don't have to care for it. If I had a huge herd of beef up on this hill, mowing it constantly throughout the summer, I wouldn't have room for them in the winter time, and it would cost me a fortune in hay to feed them. And it's good to have both on a homestead. Now, if you're a rancher, if you're a farmer full-time, you can figure your own stuff out. But for a homesteader, have your goats, have your sheep, and have a way to mow the grass that makes sense. If you have 100 acres like we do here, you're gonna need a good sized tractor. If you have a small 10-acre homestead, you could have a push or a ride-on, depending on the way it's managed and what's forest and what's not. The good news is, in my last 10 years of life, I have grown fonder of mowing. Day-to-day life, I'm running a business, I'm making decisions, I'm a dad, I got a lot of stresses, and sometimes it's nice to get on the mower, get your favorite podcast queued up. Today I've been listening to the Survival Podcast, Jack Spirko. Love Jack's show. I actually support Jack's show. I'm a MSB member because I believe in supporting the content that you like, not, spending money on cable to complain about what's on TV. So I'm a MSB member of Jack Spirko's show, and if you haven't checked out Jack's show, give it a listen right over there. And if you like our channel, you can support us by clicking the link below and becoming a pioneer. Support the content that you like. It's 2019, man. Stop complaining about what's on TV and support what you want to watch. Okay, got to get back to mowing and listening to the Survival Podcast. This episode is all about setting up a food forest. Good one. I never did get to become an astronaut. That's all right, I'm doing something I like. And but today on that hillside, it felt like liftoff a couple times. I gotta say, I have not done that hill yet. Today was the first time I ever did that. There were a couple moments that were scary, but all in all, coming out of having done the hill the first time myself, I feel pretty good. The rest of the property now feels way less scary to be mowing. So yeah, do something scary on your homestead this weekend. Not like dangerous, but something that scares you a little bit. See where it pushes you? Let us know in the comments below. What did you do that was scary this week on your homestead that made you feel good when you were done? All right, I gotta go edit a video now. I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Planning on buying lawn mowing equipment? Whatever you're planning on buying, if you're gonna buy it on Amazon, if you click on this link right here, any of the purchases you make will earn us a small commission without costing you a penny extra. We thank you for your support.